Lane Hutson and the Habs have had to take a break. Now, CJ Show went real deep into this, and we've talked about this now. This is the third episode. And I talk about it because it's a big story, A, but B, I love, like, we could talk about trade potential. We could, like, what top 5 cities we could put him in.
Trades?
No, I'm kidding. One thing that stood out to me about it, though, was CJ said they're not going to 10 million yet with this guy. And that means to me, Lane Hutson's looking for $10 million.
Yes, that's what I get from it as well. I do not understand from either side's perspective where the fire is. He's played one NHL season. I don't know why he has to lock it down right now. Play 2 NHL seasons. The floor. What would Lane Hutson have to do this season for Habs fans to look at a $72 million deal with him and be like, ugh, I don't know about that.
What if he goes from 66 points to 40?
Yeah. Well, this is. I think they'd still be pretty cool with this guy.
Well,
Dobson didn't have 40 points last year.
I know. I had him in fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
And
he was such a heartbreaker.
I was so mad. I was so mad. But I think the fire for the Lane Hutson camp is that 8th year. Right? Okay. You get the 8 year, and they seem to want a long-term deal. So if you can lock up $80 million, yeah, you probably want to do that.
Of course.
The second part of that is that for the Habs, a little bit of cost certainty there as the cap goes up, because then you have this guy around forever into his prime, well into his prime, and by the time, I mean, if the cap is going up to 115 to 120 million bucks in 2 years, what is it in 8?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Lane Hutson would be a steal in his prime at that. So I do think a long-term deal serves both sides. Although if I were Lane, I wouldn't do that. I would go short-term. Well,
so I guess what I'm saying is, like, I understand that him and his camp have a side here. Mm-hmm. The Montreal Canadiens organization has a side here, but it's getting to a bad place, and it really doesn't need to, because there's not urgency there. Mm-hmm. Just take a break.
Yep.
Take a step back. Don't let it affect his game. Don't let it affect you and the way you conduct business. Mm-hmm. It doesn't need to go there. It doesn't need to go there. And he has no leverage. His leverage is he's Lane Hutson. He's an incredibly talented player. He won the Calder last year. But other than that, he's an RFA. Well, he could just sit. He's not sitting. How is he going to get more money sitting? It didn't work for PK. It's not going to work for you.
He's also not going to get more money if he waits till past July 1st next year or past June 30th.
Right.
You got to get that done if you want that 8th year.
Yes. He has nothing here. He has nothing. Well, other than going out there and ripping it.
Jesse, the part that stuck out to me was too, like, the family got involved. Mm-hmm. And Jesse and Steve, there's two sets of people that we think should never get involved. The owners should never speak to the media, even though we love it when they do. Mm-hmm. The family should never, ever get involved directly with the team.
No one should know your dad's name.
Well, they should. They're gonna know. No, they're gonna know that. They're not. But like, you shouldn't have a family member on a call.
Yeah, that's why you hire an agent. That is what they are there for.
And so now, the other barrier to getting this deal done are, I don't even know if it's hurt feelings so much as it's annoyance from the Habs. Like, don't act like this. And probably hurt feelings from the Hutson camp in some regard.
But it sounds like, honestly, that, okay, all this goes on. The family gets in the way. They want a bunch of money. Kent Hughes is smart. He's not going to pay him that money. And then they're taking this break. And that's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like right now they're kind of doing the strategy you want them to do.
Yes.
They're going their separate ways in terms of the negotiation table. We're not going to sit here and argue for this next 6 months. We're going to see how the next little bit plays out, and we'll revisit this when it's an appropriate time, when cooler heads prevail and we have more idea of what Lane Hutson is this season.
Yeah, I know some Habs fans are going to look at me, Leaf fan, Steve Dangle. This is me taking my Leafs hat off. I want this to continue to get worse and toxic and fester. And Ideally, he gets traded or maybe just sucks. I think that'd be pretty cool if he just sucked.
Oh, yeah.
No, but taking my Leaf hat off, yeah, let's all be calm, cool-headed adults. Take a break, and we'll figure it out once we've all calmed down.
Yeah, and I think it's an added bonus that Kent Hughes is doing this deal with a bunch of people he worked with for years.
Yeah.
All of these people are his former colleagues from, 3-4 years ago?
Not long.
Yeah,
Not
long. It sounds like they have a good handle on, he has a good handle on how to handle this in terms of getting this deal done eventually. Is it anytime soon? Who knows? But it sounds like you break away here. You're not in the position where you get to decide, I want a deal before opening day. Like Jack Eichel, like Kyle Connor, like Connor McDavid, all of those guys who signed recently in those deals. Lane Hutson, you don't have that leverage here. And in fact, you have no leverage at all in this deal. You can't be offer sheeted. We have control of you for the next 6 years
Can't
of your
even
life.
be offer sheet.
Hey, and we
can't be
also have a
offer-sheeted.
25-year-old right shot defenseman who just signed an eight-year extension. So if you do want to sit next year, we'll be okay.
We've set precedents with your position on our team. We know what our internal cap is in terms of what we want to play players in your position. You played one season. There's no leverage here for him to get a deal done. They can't bully Kent Hughes and the Canadiens to get this deal done. So Kent Hughes is going to walk away. We're going to come back when you understand that you're not in a position to do anything here, and we'll get a deal done eventually.
Or enjoy the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah.
Crosby for Hudson.
Hudson to Brazeau scores. The Penguins have won the Stanley Cup.
Man, they could
defeating the Leafs in 6.
They can teach next Erik Karlsson how to be Erik Karlsson.
I know they're both in the same conference. Shut up.
This is screaming shorter term, though.
I
right?
think so.
From you guys? I believe that.
But to me, if you are actually trying to max out the dollars you make in your career, then sign a shorter term deal. Do 4. Do 4. Do 4 at 8.5, 9. Habs fans will love you. You know the team's on the rise. They're going to get that second center that they need to get. And then, everything's going to be good. They got 2 good young goalies, like Montebo Dobish, I think is a pretty good tandem. I don't know.
That's great, man. It sounds like real cool-headed logic. We'll see if any of that is applied to this negotiation whatsoever. On a side note that's not related at all, I remember going out for my 16th birthday. I went to the Keg. I really wanted a steak. And my dad then went into the kitchen and hovered over the chef while he made it. And weirdly, it got burned. Yeah. Anyway, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I